There is a reason why every Fortune 500 company has the same exact structure for their own company, and I'm gonna tell you how you can implement that in your own OnlyFans agency. You might not think you're at their level, which is probably true, but implementing this system for your company in terms of who's in charge, how are the steps, how's the hierarchy, how you manage your employees will set a big ass leverage on your revenue. Now, maybe you're already making like 6-7 figures a month and you can actually implement this like one by one. Maybe you're making 30-40 grand. You just hired your first chatters, maybe you have like a couple of Reddit marketing VAs. You can still copy the baseline of it. You can cut out a couple of steps, but the basic structure remains the same. And you wanna aim for that. You wanna know what you are aiming for. So let's get started. Of course, at the top of the hierarchy, right, top of the food chain, there are you and maybe your business partners / your business partners, right? You are the CEOs. Your job is not to keep the company alive. You're not there to manage things so the company still functions. Your job is to work on the business, not in it. You as the CEOs have the responsibility to A, identify problems and fix them, bring the company forward so that it doesn't sit still. Because without you guys, the company would basically just function. You would post reels, sell PPVs, onboard creators, but you wouldn't move the company forward. So as you know, even in thermodynamics, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. If you're not gaining energy, you're losing energy. There is no sitting still in this world. It's physically impossible. So if the company doesn't move forward, if you as the CEO are not putting a lot of energy into getting your company on the next level, on the next goal, on the next step, the company will just decline, it will get worse. You will lose money instead of making money. It will never happen that you're making 20 grand this month, 20 grand next month, 20 grand the month after that. If you're making 20 grand right now, either you're making 50 grand next month or 5. It's basically like that. So you as the CEOs are in charge of that. You shouldn't be uploading videos to a Google Drive to keep the company afloat. That's your job for the employees. You shouldn't be checking in on your employees if they actually did your work. That's something for the supervisors, and we're gonna get to that. Now, you are on top of the food chain, the CEOs. Directly below you, there's your managers. The managers, ideally, are your number one team. They're your core elite team, your killers that you 100% trust. You can't trust the VA 100%. I mean, of course not. You never dealt with them personally. Even the supervisor, I'm gonna get to all of that. But your managers, you only have a couple of them. And with them, you could literally run any business. Like, a lot of people refer to them as soldiers or like the elite group, right? The special ops, the black ops. This is your guys that you could start a McDonald's franchise tomorrow and they'd be at the counter serving burgers. You could start a private security firm the day after and they'd be the one committing war crimes. You want these guys as close as possible to you. And they basically report back to you. You sit with them if you have an idea, because one of them is a complete chatting expert. All his day goes into being the best chatting guy ever. One of them is the best traffic guy. He's the guy for IG Reels. One of them is good for outreach, one of them for banking, whatever you want to do. But if you want to scale the traffic, you sit with them, you come up with ideas, you execute it. They are in charge with all the other employees. They are talking to them, giving you information. So you, if you want to know what's even going on in the chatting, don't have to DM like 30 chatters. Hey, how's it going? You can just tell them, look, send me a report on how the chatting's like going at the moment, how do the chatters work, and then let's come up with a plan. This is your core elite team. The reason you want to do that, most people directly have like CEOs, supervisors, chatters. The reason you have this fourth step, you have this elite team, is because you can trust them 100%. Because when you hire them, you are not only searching for good quality of work, you're searching for perfect English, high IQ, high EQ, emotional intelligence, leadership qualities. This is your guys that you're actually gonna pay a lot of money to. And this only gets relevant after you're making like 150, 200, 300 grand. But trust me, it's gonna pay off so money mentally. You can start any business venture. If you get into a new business tomorrow, you can just get 2 of your guys, be like, yo, set that up, report to me back in 6 months when we're like making $1 million. And you can actually trust them, they'll do that. So you need these guys. You need people you can trust 100% in your company. You can't just be the only one that you trust 100%. Because I know how it is. Everyone's probably the same. If you're not the one doing it, it gets fucked up. We all know this feeling. I had this very, very hard myself when I started. If I didn't do anything myself, I was always like unhappy with the results. So you need people where you know they're doing a good job. You know if you give them a task, it's going to be done on time, perfect with little flowers and little stars on the side. A1 plus, perfect work. You can go drinking with them, sparring with them, helping them build a life. You want to help them have a share of the company, not literally, but just the more money the company earns, the more money they earn. Let them in on the vision, let them in on the dream of the company so they know you want to make them 2 millionaires. And that should be your goal, by the way. If they're that good as I've described, you will have no problem paying them like a shit ton of money because they're absolutely worth it. They're gems. Now, below them, remember, CEO, managers, couple of them. Below them, there are the supervisors. Now, there's supervisors for any single department. Their basic job is to have a clear overview and a clear responsibility for a certain parameter, right? It's like a soldier. You are a soldier in this army and you're gonna hold that machine gun position. You're gonna make sure at this point and this point there are no enemies coming through. You don't have to worry about airstrikes, war crimes, politics. No, you are a soldier, you're gonna hold your machine gun and hold this angle for as long as we tell you to do. This is basically their job. So the supervisors, let's say it in the chatting terms. You have a supervisor for one creator. This supervisor is in the Discord with the chatters, making sure everybody sends their work reports, everybody is online, has fast reply time, right? Money is being made, analyzing the chats, giving feedback, and they just report back to the managers. And you maybe have one supervisor for every creator, maybe one for a couple creators if they're small. And you have the same for traffic. You have one supervisor who's like taking care of all the IG accounts, saying to the manager, look, we made this much views, this much money, done. Or the manager says, hey, we want to try a new marketing strategy, this is the thing, execute it, do this task until end of day. Okay, done. Your supervisors, you typically don't trust them 100%. Like you wouldn't tell them like, hey, please start a new business, but they're very worthy people, they're very, very competent in what they do, and they have a clear responsibility, clear task list, and they earn more money than the average chatter, for example. How do you hire supervisors? Basically, you want to promote employees that are already good. If you're searching for managers, for example, you can't just take a chatter and make him a manager because they have very different qualities. That's a bit more tricky. But supervisors, for example, you have 10 chatters and you just pick the best one where you see the best work ethic, the best leadership qualities. Funnily enough, most of the time it's females, since most people think I'm against working with females or something. No. Most of the supervisors are females because they have a very good work ethic when it comes to chatting. They're very good at selling information, emotional stuff, and also they are very good at having clear instructions and following them. Creative work, not really their part. So for traffic, maybe you want to get a man, but for supervisors, females are perfect. They're very good with communicating with people, having like a good feeling, there's no ego involved, etc. Now, below the supervisors, there's your normal employees, VAs, people who do the manual work. People who do the chatting, people who post the Instagram reels, people who search for content ideas, people who send outreach messages. It's very manual, it's not very creative, since if you want to hire VAs or employees, typically you don't want to pay them too much, right? And it's very easy to teach someone manual work. Hey, copy this from here and paste it to here. Then repeat, copy, paste. Do this for 8 hours, here's your money. That's very easy. Creative work is a bit harder to teach and it's also very hard to find. So you want to leave your creative work to either your managers, some of the supervisors, or you and your business partners maybe. So make sure you keep this company structure, and you don't want to make it too big. If you have like 5 different chain of commands and you as the CEO want to execute something in the chatting, hey, I want to try this new strategy, and it has to go through 5 different hands until it ends at the actual chatter's end, then the company is set up wrong, because you want to be able to implement things fast, efficient. You send a WhatsApp message to your manager this morning and it's implemented in the evening. That's what you want to have. Maybe in the next hour. You want to be able to have it that fast. This is where Fortune 500 companies struggle with the most. If you've ever worked in a normal company, like a normal 9-to-5 job, you know how this is. It takes years to implement shit, and half the people aren't even working because no one is really looking at them. You want to be very effective, but you also want to have a very clear chain of command so everybody knows what their job is and everything's getting done on time. If you're making 30 grand, 40 grand, you have your chatters, you can start by you, the CEO, promoting one chatter to supervisor, and then the rest of the chatters. That's how you start. Maybe then you have a couple Reddit VAs, couple traffic VAs. Okay, they have 1 or 2 supervisors as well. You onboard a couple creators. Now you have 2 supervisors in chatting for 6 creators. Fire. Maybe you have like a cousin or a brother, or you know someone who's like a super competent guy who may not know business. He doesn't have business skills, but he's good at English, good at talking. He's just smart. You hire him. You're like, look, let's try this out. You're gonna start as a chatter, so you know the business, work your way up, work to supervisor, and then then you're gonna get a manager. Now you're just gonna do like everything, and now you hired a manager. You're gonna pay him more. Now you have like your soldier, he's your brother, maybe you go training with him, maybe he even lives with you at some point. But this is basically how you build this stuff up step by step, and you should know what you're aiming for. This is very important. Good things happen over time. So you can't just wake up one day and be like, I want to hire people. No, you need to start now to actually aim for this exact company structure so that it's gonna happen in the next 3 or 4 months time. Because you're dealing with people, and managing and employing and inspiring people as a CEO takes time and also takes actions. Your words don't mean that much. You have to show them that you're competent and that you're about it. So that's about it for this video. I have 2 free ebooks in the bio that teach you how to start OnlyFans management and also how to get to 6-7 figures fast. So you can start implementing this by reading the ebooks. Make sure to download them completely for free. Links in the bio. With that being said, wish you a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.